This is the build. We will first do a quick demonstration in a T4 breach stone, so T4 Xesht, and then I will show what I did and why. You see the ice shot here with a high average damage and actually quite few attacks per second because I'm trying to one-shot most of the mobs anyway. The gems are like this. Pretty standard, stolen from the colleague Moxie here on YouTube, and the rest of the setup is also pretty standard in terms of skills. I'm using Grim Feast for this, and I turn on Ghost Dance for pinnacle bosses, but here it's not even going to be needed. So let's first do quickly the run. As you see, the build is really meant to one-shot any monster that comes here. The build has a lot of skills for critical strike chance and critical damage on monsters that have full life. So anything that doesn't get one shot, the damage actually goes down a bit. It's still quite high, so you see there no issue with any of these mobs, even on level 82. You also see my mana is okay. I specifically reduced the skill level. I do not use the unique jewel to give me 3 additional skill levels, and this is just because otherwise managing mana is a pain. So right now you saw my ice shot level is manageable with the mana here. This one didn't die immediately, so it takes me a few shots and a potion of mana, but otherwise no issues. Everything just goes away. Another little mana potion here. There's not enough density here to always keep mana up without any potions, but as you see, that's not a problem at all. In maps or anything like that, the mana is never an issue because we always have plenty of mobs to keep us full. Let's see a few drops here. Okay, nothing too great, but whatever. That's okay. This is just supposed to be a showcase here. We don't need to look at the rest, and then we just quickly go to the boss. The boss with the lightning arrow setup is trivial on this one, so that's actually not even fun to show. We drop the Orb of Storms, we wait for the boss to come out, and then it's just a bunch of lightning arrows and some mana potions when we run out, and the boss is just gone. I mean, that's really not an issue whatsoever. And with that, let's have a look at skills. Is there anything useful? Nope. Oh well, that's how it goes. Now, the most important points, let's go over the equipment. The bow here, of course, instead of dexterity, I would like to have critical damage, but otherwise this is pretty nice. Surprisingly, the elemental damage with attacks is actually quite important. It gives a lot of damage because we have so much elemental damage in this build. The standard Hova, of course, as everybody. This ring is new from today. I did need the resistances to cap out on that one, and so otherwise just trying to get the damage. Physical damage here is not so useful. I'd rather have cold. And the fire damage, I was asked why so much fire damage. That's really just because elemental damage scales well and fire damage has the highest roll potential, so it gives me the most damage on top. Speaking of resistances, I have tried to cap all my resistances. I lost a little bit of chaos with my last updates. I did boost evasion as much as I could with this build. My energy shield, as you see, is very high as well. Life is a bit low right now, but I never run out of energy shield anyway. Then just enough dexterity to keep my bow at 212, and the rest all in int to boost Hova damage. I don't want more dexterity because I don't want more attack speed, because in my build, as I'm trying to one-shot everything, I try to reduce the attack speed. I could get significantly more sheet DPS with higher attack speed, but if everything dies with one shot, why would I want to attack faster? So you will also see it in the passive tree. I removed all the attack speed because it just doesn't do anything. Defensive armor with energy shield and evasion, and filling up the resistances here, very important. The helmet critical chance helps with the damage, and otherwise just filling out my resistances and the energy shield. The amulet for defense with evasion and energy shield, critical damage, and then a lot of attributes for more damage. And here you see the first thing, preemptive strike, anointed here. That doesn't show anything in the sheet damage. So if I put something like barbaric strength here, the sheet damage would be much higher. But this preemptive strike actually helps us with killing mobs at full life, so one-shotting everything. Sheet damage is reduced, but overall clear speed is much improved with this allocating preemptive strike here. The second ring, a bit of rarity that I lost on the other ring, a bit of resistances, and otherwise just trying to get damage in here. My ingenuity, of course, I do have energy shield here that I like, very happy with that one, and I actually corrupted that myself and I was happy with the outcome. Then my shoes, just boosting my resistances, bit of rarity, that's all I could get. Bit more movement speed would be nice, of course, but you know, limited money, nothing we can do. And then on the quiver, I'm very happy with that one. Anything more than that is going to be super expensive. The arrow speed helps also with our passive tree for damage, and the rest is just pure damage here. I do use the Melting Maelstrom mana flask, because then I don't need to use a Thief's Torment on bosses. As you've seen, I can just chuck some of these potions and all the bosses are dead. No problem with that one. The passive tree actually changed a lot since my last video. I did remove, as you see here, typical nodes, Falcon Technique for attack speed, gone. Typical node here, acceleration attack speed, gone. No need for that one, just all the attack speed is gone. I did get back here and get more evasion. I removed the unique jewel here that let me select a few of these nodes, and I just path through so that I can get another high damage jewel. This one gives me about 25,000 sheet DPS. And then, as you can see, the standard here, the standard crit over there. The next 2 damage node that would give the next boost will be here, the bow critical damage. And here the bow critical damage, that could give you more damage if you wanted to, but I wanted to further boost my defense. I do have 1 sapphire here with mana, because otherwise that is really a pain. This jewel actually doesn't give much damage, but I do need the mana recovery here, otherwise that's just difficult to play. I have Doomsayer via my unique jewel, I'll show you that. And then, as you've seen, I have preemptive strike on my amulet. I have, let me see where it is. I have here the Against the Darkness with fire and lightning, and I just chose as many of these nodes here. These 2 are just purely for damage over the jewel. They don't do anything other than give you more damage here. I did choose First Approach here. Again, enemies in full life get everything one shot, so that one is not sheet DPS, but it really increases the damage, but you will not see it on the sheet. Then we have here my Megalomaniac with Direct Approach. Again, just kill everything on one-shotting, and the Doomsayer is coming from here. Going up, Energy Shield here, more damage jewels, more damage jewels, more damage jewels, and even more damage jewels. Then evasion and energy shield cluster here, the critical cluster here, and I did choose to go up here to patient barrier, give me more energy shield, very useful. And it was so close because I want to have that jewel anyway, so this little path here gives me so much survivability. It was definitely worth it. And then, as you can see, I have here, I can allocate everything over minor matters. So I'm going to take all natural here. I'm going to take storm charged for damage. and that comes from my unique jewel. Is it that one here? Yes, from my From Nothing diamond here. That is very useful. So the tree really has a lot of damage that I took out for survivability. All of this part survivability, all of that part survivability, all of this part survivability. And I did take away everything down here. There was a lot of damage here in these nodes. There was damage here in these nodes with critical here, but it's just too far to path into this, so I chose to remove that. Also here, only 4 nodes of intelligence instead of going through the projectile damage. That's also a damage loss, but I just needed the points, so there was nothing I can do about that one. So that is the build and the reasons behind it. Hope you like it, and please post any questions. The path of building is linked in the description. Thanks for watching.